The next thing I'm going to discuss is evaluating functions. Evaluating functions is basically you think of the equation of the function as a template, and everywhere the letter that's inside the left-hand portion of the function's equation, wherever there's a parentheses, whatever's in the parentheses is what you're going to replace over here. For example, h of 2 means everywhere there's a t on the right-hand side of the equation, I am going to replace it with a 2. So h of 2 is equal to 2 squared minus 2 times 2, which is 4 minus 4, which is 0. Do the same thing for h of 1.5. I'm going to get 1.5 squared minus 2 times 1.5. 1.5 squared is 2.25. Negative 2 times 1.5 is negative 3. And the answer is negative 0.75. Not only can I stick numbers in to evaluate, but I can also stick other functions or portions of equations in for evaluation. So at h of x plus 2, everywhere there's a t, I'm going to replace it with x plus 2. So I end up with x plus 2 quantity squared minus 2 times x plus 2. Now I'm going to simplify this. I'm going to square the binomial, which gives me x squared plus 4x plus 4. Distribute the negative 2, minus 2x. Negative 2 times 2 is minus 4. Finally, I have x squared. 4x minus 2x is 2x. And 4 minus 4 is 0. The next function I'm going to work through evaluation is f of x is the absolute value of x over x. So if I do f of 2, I put a 2 on the numerator and the denominator. Absolute value of 2 is 2 over 2, which is 1. Now I want to do f of negative 2. That means I put a negative 2 in the absolute value and in the denominator. Absolute value of negative 2 is 2 over negative 2. 2 divided by negative 2 is negative 1. And the last part of this says, well, what's just f of x? Well, f of x is equal to the absolute value of x over x. And I have to look at 3 different conditions to write my answer. Well, let's look at this. If x is a negative number, it looks like I get negative 1 for the answer. Let's try it. Let's just put a negative 1 in here. Absolute value of negative 1 over negative 1 is 1 over negative 1, which is negative 1. Basically, any negative number, I get negative 1 for my answer. So the way I would write my answer, it's negative 1 when x is less than 0. Well, let's figure out what it is when x is 0. If I put a 0 in for x here and an x here, it's undefined, so I'm not even going to write a number down. And then if x is greater than 0, try another number other than the 2. Absolute value of 3 over 3 is just 3 over 3, which is 1. So it's 1 if x is greater than 0. What this graph would look like, just a quick rough sketch of the graph. Here's positive 1, here's negative 1. It's negative 1 when x is less than 0. Oops, wrote it the wrong direction. Here we go. And it is positive 1 when x is greater than 0. So that is the graph of the function absolute value of x over x. Next and final equation that I want to go over